For Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
WOCA.
Ocala.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
And welcome back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on this Wednesday, July 22nd. As we say good morning to you, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Broadcasting to you nowhere else than live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, the Source Radio. Be sure and hit like and subscribe, as that'll help you keep up to date on the videos and the streamings that we do right here at the station to keep you a little bit informed and a little bit entertained here at the Source. As we now approach 6 minutes past the top of the 9 o'clock hour, in the studio, I have Mr. Jim Haskins from Touching Hearts. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. To have you in here, as we mentioned, we've advertised a little bit, Touching Hearts at home. Touching Hearts at Home, Ocala and the Villages. We're a home health personal care agency licensed here in Florida to serve with compassion, excellence, and dependability. As we got you in here to talk a little bit more about Touching Hearts at Home and where people can get more information and all that good stuff. So welcome, partner.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's rare that you get a chance to talk to listeners that are attentive and want to listen to what you have to say, so I'm glad to be here, so thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the compassion, excellence, and dependability are core objectives of the company, and we try to make sure that we live by those, and it's not always easy, but we try. But at this time in the world that we're dealing with and the pandemic and all those things, it's really a stressful time, and
right.
I felt like it was really important that I try to reach out to people and let them feel confident that there are those that can help them. They don't have to completely isolate.
Sure.
We provide services that encompass many of the day-to-day stuff. Many people call them daily activities. So we're a home health personal care agency licensed with the state of Florida. We're fully compliant with CDC and all the guidelines to protect people, and we always keep safety in mind for our clients. But in our world, the client comes first. Our care team comes next, because without either one of them, we wouldn't be able to be here. And then Touching Hearts at Home is probably considered as a last resort, because we have to have a company to manage everything.
Sure.
So if I can get the company out of what we do, it would be a good thing, but necessarily we can't do that. But we typically provide services in a traditional type residence, although we can provide our services wherever a client might call home. So we do services in community type settings, as well as hospitals and other settings where a client wants us to be with them.
Right.
But we do things like the day-to-day, keeping things clean, paying attention to sanitary conditions in a home, making sure that the home is in good order, meal preparation, transportation as necessary, errands as necessary. We do travel sometimes with our clients, although that's a rarity, but we do that. Mm-hmm. But we do work very diligently, because every client is different. No two people are the same.
Of course.
So their needs are unique in most cases, although there's some commonalities occasionally. So we work diligently initially to make sure we understand the client, their home, what they really would like us to do or wouldn't like us to do, so that we're very specific about what we pay attention to when we're there. We customize those things by hours, by days of the week, all of the variables that you can imagine. And they don't have to use everything that we do, but we don't do an a la carte service. They can take advantage of it all if they wish to, mm-hmm. but they might not need some specific things, and that's all we would do there, and that's okay. Many of our team has been with us. We started about 10 years ago, and most of my team has been with us that long.
Oh, wow. We
feel lucky and fortunate for that. We have good, I'll stack my team up against any other team in the world. They really do work hard, and what we do is you have to be very attentive, you have to be very empathetic, and you have to pay attention to what's going on in the environment that you're in. And we like it that way, because that helps us be successful, and our clients are satisfied because of it, and that's what's important.
Yes, absolutely.
We always keep the safety of everybody in mind. That includes my staff as well as the clients. We use protective devices if they're necessary, and sometimes they are.
Sure.
We always try to err on the side of caution. Quite frankly, someone is probably safer today in their own private residence than they are anywhere else. But we live in a risky world right now with something that we've never dealt with in the world before, and nobody's really got a good answer.
Right.
But we try to make sure we pay attention to as many details, and we're constantly training ourselves and our care team and our clients to some degree on the things we can do to be as safe as we can possibly be.
Yeah.
And that's about infectious diseases at large. I mean, the flu and other things that have come along, maybe not as traumatic as this, but they're still traumatic. And if you get sick, it's not a good thing.
Right.
So we try to be aware of that.
And just kind of dealing with, like you mentioned at the very beginning, just the way this is overall, and I know you're harping on the idea that what you guys do is all safe with CDC guidelines, but it's the idea too that more and more people are needing something, like you said, for all of the services that you provide, from the personal care, from companionship. This has been such a tumultuous time for a lot of people who have their parents in assisted living facilities and all this stuff, and it's just there's a lot that's been taken for granted sometimes, or there's a lot that they understand and the perspective is just so different. And you guys offer services that really, in a way, do help. And when you say day to day, it's that stuff that you can take for granted that you guys offer, which is good stuff.
Very true. Yeah, thanks. You're right. It's the mundane things sometimes are the simple things that have the greatest impact on the life. And we try to pay attention to those.
And
things.
that's a big part of it.
And we don't mind someone saying, "Hey, what would you mind doing?" I mean, we can change as we go. This is not a static thing that we do. It changes every day, every hour.
Yeah.
And we really want to work through that continuum of life with our clients to try to provide what they need when they need it, to not try to force things. We're not there to control their lives. We're there to be a part of that life and make that life be better. That's why quality of care and the compassion, excellence, and dependability, we want our clients to know they're not alone, that they have someone out here that they can call that would help and can help. Since we're private duty, we work for our clients. We don't, and whoever's there is only focused on them for as long as we're there. And we spend a lot of time even outside of shift times just trying to make sure we're on target for what the clients ask us to do. We do, cost is always a factor. We try to work with those things that we can to help make it less painful when it comes to a cost perspective. We can work with some of the long-term care insurers. This is not really, Medicare is trying to get involved in what we do. Yeah. But they're not quite there yet, and it's going to be driven through what people have heard about called Medicare Advantage, more than likely, which is controlled by the insurance companies.
Right.
But we don't know exactly how that's going to roll out. There's still some limitations to what we can do relative to that, but some of the insurers will work with us, and that's a good thing. Long-term care policies, which a lot of people have, at least depending on the generation that you're from, they can help pretty dramatically, and that we work with ones we can work with.
Sure.
And then the other thing we do that I'm a former Marine Corps, so I like to help vets, so we can help vets get their benefits they've earned by serving.
Yeah.
And that takes a little time sometimes, but it is effective, and it does offset many times the cost of what we do.
Yeah.
So we try to do that as much as we can.
And that speaks volumes with what we do here at the Source 96.3 FM. Is we have every Thursday we have our Veterans News, which keeps them in the loop with the VA clinic and everything else that they can do to get help otherwise, or those who want to listen to contribute help and stuff. So we know we have listeners out there that are taking heed of those words, like you mentioned, that you guys actually help veterans. And thank you for your service too, partner.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I tell you what, I would encourage people. It doesn't hurt to talk, and our initial visits are free. We try to come in and get to know each other. We get to know the client. We don't twist arms. If we can help, we're happy to help. If we can't, okay, we understand. That's okay. Please don't. I would say call, get in touch with us. It doesn't hurt to have a brief conversation face to face to get to know each other, so you can learn about us better. Mm-hmm. And if we can't, we'll say thank you and leave. I don't want people to feel threatened by having a visit. It is difficult today to invite a stranger into your house. I get that, okay?
Absolutely.
But we will take every precaution to protect you and ourselves, quite honestly.
Right.
So I always like to say that and I came from an old school, and my mother was a guardian and caregiver for 40-something years before they had names, and I guess that's where I got my affinity for it. But I always say that home is where the heart is. and Touching Hearts at Home will be there for you in your home.
Yeah.
It's corny, but it works, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm just trying to convey a feeling here as much as anything about a message. There are lots of things that we can talk about that we don't have the time to cover today.
Sure.
But please call us, and if I don't know if I can say my phone number or not.
Absolutely.
But please call us at 352-414-5316, and we'll be glad to take your call and have a conversation. If you happen to miss us because we're sometimes out helping clients, please leave a message. We will call you back pretty quickly, usually.
Absolutely. And with that, as we mentioned, Touching Hearts at Home, that offers help where their clients call home personal residences, hospitals, healthcare communities. The services that you guys provide, the list here is phenomenal. Personal care, companionship, Alzheimer's and dementia, from care, meal preparation, bathing support, transfer help, personal hygiene, and much more. For those who want to know a little bit more just in general, you can visit their website, touchinghearts.com/Ocala, or like Jim said here, probably the best thing is get a hold of somebody, talk out loud, 352-414-5316. Well, thank you very, very much, partner. We're glad to have you in here, too, to talk about it, because I think that resonates a little bit better than when it's just you over the phone calling.
Thank you.
So I'm glad to have
Come back
you.
anytime.
Excellent. As we're now 16 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour, stay tuned. More AM Ocala Live coming your way right here on The Source. Back after this.